Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
Welcome to this week's episode of Ask the Messengers, the show where real stories inspire real change. I am your host, Tina Nelson, and today on this episode, we're honoring the incredible resilience and achievements of women in recovery as part of our Women's History Month celebration. In this episode, we shine a spotlight on the powerful journeys of the women who've turned their trials into triumphs. These stories aren't just about survival, they're about thriving, healing, and leading with a purpose. We're especially proud to honor two phenomenal women from our own team. First, our author series host, Kimberly, whose voice brings wisdom and compassion to every conversation within her author series. And let us not forget our fearless street reporter, Lashon, a true warrior who brings the stories of community to life with raw honesty and unwavering dedication. Her path from streetwalker to street reporter is nothing short of inspiring. Ask the Messengers begins now.
This Women's History Month, we celebrate the strength, resilience, and triumphs of women in recovery. Across history, countless women have faced addiction and adversity, yet they have risen above their struggles, turning their pain into purpose. Their stories inspire hope, proving that recovery is possible and that no challenge is too great to overcome. Let's take a moment to recognize some incredible women who have publicly shared their journeys to recovery and used their experience to help others. Former First Lady Betty Ford not only battled alcoholism and prescription drug addiction, but also founded a center in her name, which has helped thousands on their path to sobriety. Her bravery in speaking out at a time when addiction carried heavy stigma changed the conversation around recovery.
I'm Betty Ford, and I'm an alcoholic. Hi. Thank you. A recovering woman alcoholic, and I might say very grateful.
Mary J. Blige, the queen of hip-hop soul, has been open about her struggles with addiction, stemming from trauma and toxic relationships. She turned to drugs and alcohol as a way to cope, but later sought recovery and transformed her life. Today, she is not only a music icon, but also a role model for resilience, healing, and self-love. Blige often speaks about her journey in interviews, emphasizing the importance of mental health and self-worth. A modern example of resilience, Demi Lovato, has openly shared her struggles with addiction and mental health, using her platform to advocate for sobriety, self-care, and awareness.
You're in so much pain that the consequences don't matter to you. You're not thinking about what could happen or what's going to happen to you. You're just in pain and you just want to escape or numb out. And so I put numbing out before everything in my life. And when I choose drugs, I'm choosing them over family, over friends, over my career, over essentially everything.
Actress Bai Ling has openly discussed her battles with alcoholism and the pressures of Hollywood, using her story to inspire others to seek help and prioritize mental well-being.
All things you're using is to hide your fear, but the fear is actually its power. The fear is there for you to tell your fear, I love you, and the fear will become your friend. So challenge yourself and say love to your fear, and the fear will become your power to make you successful. And you never need drug and alcohol to deal with fear.
But it's not just celebrities. Everyday women in recovery are just as inspiring. Mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends who have battled addiction and come out stronger. They rebuild their lives, support their families, and show others that change is possible. Recovery is not a straight path, but every step forward is a victory. This Women's History Month, let's honor the women who have overcome addiction, those who continue their journey, and ones who uplift and support others along the way. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is out there. Local recovery groups offer support, guidance, and most importantly, hope.
As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, now we turn the spotlight on a truly inspiring journey of our very own Kimberly E. Mallory. From her own book pages to the big screen, Kim's journey of recovery and triumph is more than just her battling the depths of addiction to becoming a published author. Kim's story is a testament of resilience, faith, and the transformative power of recovery. Her book, There Is No Sound in My Scream, Drugs, Truth, and Faith, started as a deeply personal book that made its way to the big screen and now streaming on Tubi for audiences around the world to see. We are so proud of you, Kimberly, and thank you for showing the world that women do recover. And now here is this month's author series hosted by Kimberly E. Mallory.
Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the show today. I have yet another amazing author with me. Her name is Dionne Wallace, and she has written such a phenomenal book. When I read this book, her book is called Beating the Odds, My Journey to Healing, Wholeness, and Happiness. And let me just say that again, Beating the Odds. So as I read through her book, and you see that her book is pretty thick. She has some, oh my goodness. This book had me smiling, sad, happy. I was a ball of emotions reading this book because it was so touching, you all. But let me just say this. Dionne, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dionne, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Hi, my name is Dionne Wallace. Besides being an author, I am a registered nurse of 20 years, a mother, a wife, a grandmother, just a regular person.
Okay, ain't nothing regular about you, Missy. Nothing regular about you. Are extraordinary. I know I've had the opportunity to work with you, so you're a very extraordinary person. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into your book. I want to jump into chapter 5. No, it was chapter 7. I want to jump into chapter 7 because it was that chapter that really was so heartfelt. And you were talking about the broken pieces. Oh my goodness. Y'all, when I say her book is so awesome, you talked about the broken pieces, not to mention any family members' names, because like you said in the book, you can't mention any family members' names, which you shouldn't, but you talked about the molestation. You talked about being pedophiles. You were 12 years old when you first got molested, up until the age of 17. I could not even imagine. You were a child, 12 years old, you're still playing with dolls, and at 12 years old, you were molested. Um, Tell us, the audience, a little bit about those broken pieces and how you were able to mend after going through something like that.
I guess for me, as a little girl, wondering why someone would try to touch me, an adult, like, why are you trying to touch me? I was a young lady. I felt like I was underdeveloped and things like that. And so it kind of bothered me because I felt like, although my parents were great parents, I felt like I wasn't protected in those areas. But for me, it pushed me to say, I'm going to do everything that I said I was going to do. I'm going to be everything that God called me to be. Whatever it takes, I'm still going to do it.
Yes, yes, yes. And a lot of times God will take those broken pieces and he'll put you back together in front of the person that broke you. I know that God is such an amazing God and what he'll do with those broken pieces. But here's the thing, you have to really trust and you have to believe that you can become whole again. See, because that's what happens to a lot of people. They allow their brokenness to determine who they are. And we can't. We just can't. How I wrote taken some notes about when this first started, when you started getting molested and it finally stopped. How did it stop?
I just stopped going around. Like, I stopped being in that arena, in that area around that person. Um, to be clear, like, I think people need to understand that people's definition of molestation thinks that you have to be entered into, but that's not always the case. I was touched. You know what I'm saying? So I just took myself out of the picture, so to speak, and just started doing other things and hang around in other areas.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. Okay, and then what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to expound on some of these chapters that really touched you, that you think would touch someone else that is watching this show right now? Because for beating the odds, that could be so broad, but tell us, as in your book, what odds did you break? What odds did you beat?
I think the odds that I beat is become I became a single mother as a teenager. And when you become a single mother as a teenager, a lot of times you're counted out.
Yeah.
But because I became a teenage mother, it pushed me to say, this is what I need to do. I have someone looking up to me. I have someone relying on me, and I have no choice but to beat the odds that people say I could not.
Right. And that made you even stronger because people probably had already counted you out, and you're such a phenomenal person. I told you that when we were working together. You're truly a phenomenal person, inside and out, and you love the Lord, you know. So just elaborate a little bit on your book, Dion.
So my book, Beating the Odds, it's really about my journey from when God showed me a vision when I was a little girl to say, you're going to be a nurse, you're going to help people, and you're going to get there. But during that time, so many things were happening to me that I didn't think that I would do it, right? I lost my grandmother, who I felt like was my best friend as a teenager. And I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to overcome these things? And I just kept pushing myself, trusting God. I kept hearing particular scriptures that just resonated. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Greater is he that's in me, that's in the world. And I just kept quoting those things. And through everything, through every letdown and setback, I just kept getting back up like, God promised me. I know I can do this. I don't know how, but he showed me and he told me, and I trust his word.
Amen. That part right there. That part. So what I would like for you to do is, if there's not anything else that you would like to talk about in the book, is there
Oh, yeah,
anything?
it's a few things.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
want to talk about just my journey to like just becoming a nurse, and how when I was in nursing school, when I went through my divorce, I was passing, I was failing. I never thought I would do it, but I had a strong village that just supported me to help push me through it. It took me a while to pass my boards. It took me a while to just get through it, but I just kept telling myself, I know I can. I need to be able to be the person, the trailblazer, to help a single mother who feels like she can't do it. You can do it. Just keep pushing. Don't let what you see before you stop you from doing what you're supposed to do. And I just want to say, anybody listening, you can beat any odds that you want. Never, ever, ever stop and never give up on yourself, and be your biggest cheerleader.
Yes, because a lot of times we have to learn. And I'm
Yes.
telling you, we have to learn how to encourage ourselves. We cannot depend on people to always be our encouragers. And a lot of times, us as encouragers ourselves, we need encouraged too. We can't keep pouring and pouring and pouring. And now our cup is empty and we have nothing. We need people to pour into us as encouragers as well. But when you don't have that, you do need to learn how to encourage yourself. Tell us, how do you encourage yourself, Dion?
I encourage myself through meditation, through prayer. I work out and exercise and just
Good.
tell myself, you can do this. And I just kind of do it consistently, frequently, daily. And when I'm feeling down, I just say, look, this is what you have to do. You made it through that. You can make it through this. You got this.
Yes, and you heard that word, consistent. That is the key, consistent. And how I encourage myself, because I am an encourager, but that is one of my gifts. And so I just do it so naturally that it just comes, because a lot of times so much stuff goes on in the world. People do need encouraging, but how I can pour back into my cup when I have no one else to pour into me, I always pray. And then after I pray without ceasing, and then I always use a lot of affirmations. Whether I believe them or not, I will still always speak these affirmations because I know that they will come to fruition, and then I'll begin to believe it. You know how people say, fake it till you make it? I don't like that. How about faith it until you make it? So I have to have faith that I can encourage myself too. I can keep going. I'll tell myself, and I'll give myself so many self-talks, it's not even funny, because we just have to keep going. But Dion, what I would like for you to do right now is please look into that camera, and someone that just don't feel like they could beat the odds. whatever it is that they're going through, they just don't feel like they have hope. Give someone some words of encouragement.
What I would say to you is when you down and you looking up and you feel like you can't get up, just say, speak to God with your heart and say, God, I know you got me. You promised me this. I know I can do it. And it's just positivity, positivity. Even when you feel like you can't, just know that you can. You can do it. Because I was down, but I wasn't out. And neither will you be.
Before we wrap up this week's episode, here's another inspiring interview with our street reporter Lashon and her sister Gloria. Together they celebrate a new beginning with the grand opening of their shared living home. Lashon went from streetwalker to street reporter, and her sister never turned her back on her even in her darkest days. Theirs is a true story of resilience, unconditional love, and the power of second chances. We just celebrated Sean's 30-year. Sister been ride or die forever. And now I'm just so excited to hear their story of how they came to the celebration and the grand opening of their shared living home. How do you feel in this moment, Gloria?
Blessed. Just highly favored right now. It's been a milestone, but I'm here. Just thanking God every step of the way. Coming from my background and upbringing, I just want to break generational curse and let my grandkids have a better come up and purpose as I do for others.
Sean, now 30 years in recovery, and you are with your sister doing something so phenomenal. How are you feeling in this moment?
Blessed, very blessed, grateful, a lot of gratitude, humble. It's been a long time coming. That's my ride or die. So yeah, I've been telling her to get her in all the time. She finally came in. She had a vision, and now you get to live the dream like me. We do what we gotta do. Teamwork make the dream work. This ain't no I in team, only in win. So from this point forward, it's just win, win, win.
No matter what. No, just kidding. Y'all know I'm crazy. But listen, let's go back a little bit because LaShawn has shared her story how in her darkest, worst days, you were always there. And I know that's your sister, and we get mad at our sisters. How did you ride with your sister so hard, even in those dark days?
We all we got. We was all we had. And my mama was taken away from us at a young age. And we had family members to take us in, but for us to be together as one, it wasn't inseparable. It's been inseparable. And I just kept that magnitude because I know my mama is smiling because we kept us together. It's just us.
Nice. Sean, now I know you gave your sister hell and back. So look, I know that you have thanked your sister over and over again, but I want you to right now, I want you to look at your sister and I want you to speak like you always say, what come from the heart, touch the heart. Touch your sister's heart right now on national TV.
So I just want to say I love you no matter what. I got your back like you had mine, like always. You said a mouthful, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful that you my sister. I wouldn't trade you for nothing in the world. The unconditional love that you show me, you know, put me on the family list, on the group chats, all that means something to me. You know what I'm saying? And we got another sister, but we gotta let her be where she at till she ready to come around. We ain't forgot about her, but it's just us three now. I know for a long time my mother got killed at 35, and you was scared you wasn't gonna live past 35, and I was too. We didn't think we was gonna live past 35, but we did. And we got this family. You got them kids. You did a outstanding job with them.
outstanding. And I like how you family orientated, and how you raise your kids, and how y'all stick together as a family. Because family, right now, we all got to stick together. Like you said, we all we got. And since I've been in this recovery process, even before, you've been like showing me mad love, and I appreciate you for that. When I think I ain't got nowhere to go, the first person I think about is you. I'ma always have somewhere to go, as long as I got you. I don't worry about being in the streets no more, because you always say, come over here. And for that, I'm grateful.
Wow. Now let's celebrate. You all came together. You got your house. You all are giving. I mean, this is God's service work in its whole manifestation. This is what we live for. This is the thing that we love to see and we love to shine spotlights on. So talk about the home. What are some of the requirements? Just tell us about this beautiful place that you all have put together for people to come. Just talk about that for me.
Okay, I have transitional housing. I have reentry and sobriety living. We offer free utilities, free laundry, Wi-Fi. What else? We have peer support group, whereas we'll have different people coming in, with different topics. And on the go, it will be a computer skills, teach them computer basic skills, because a lot of people come and they don't know how to work the computer. So I feel that would be a good asset to them. I wanted a more home-like living. So after their recovery, at least 4 months, I think, from recovery would be good. But reentry is from parole, and the probation officer would, come see the house, place them, and they'll have to go by rules. It's rules. It's a curfew. They will have to go by, and no smoking, no vaping, none of the nonsense.
Now, for more information about their shared living home, visit their website, www.gainfullivingandblessings.com. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers, and we're asking you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you to our guests today, and we hope the information shared will be of some help to you, your family, and your community. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep standing for what's right. See you next time, right here on Ask the Messengers. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235.